Oh, right.
You got a mic? Anywhere?
Up there. CJ, can you?
Yep. Even next first.
Testing, testing, testing.
I don't think, you know, that's the way he can shoot, so
Testing, testing, testing.
A year ago, I couldn't have sniffed behind you. You know that? Now I got no belly, so I can.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. First, we'll open up to questions for players first before we get to anything from Coach Vampy.
Jalen, real quick, just talk about, in particular, you and Rocket tonight. You guys are both kind of going through some stuff physically. There was no way either one of you were not playing today, right?
Yeah, there was no way. You know, I think that we both just got to lead our team and set an example. You know, we're giving our team all we have. And, you know, Rocket really stepped up big time today, and that's the Rocket that we know. And I know he's going to build off of it. That's a confidence booster for him. And I think moving forward, you're going to see a different Rocket, a different me, you know, just a whole different Oakland team. I mean, that's what we're capable of playing like that. We never backed down. We showed fight the whole game. Even when they went on their crazy runs, we didn't panic. We came together as a team, and that's what I like about our team. So I think it's something that we're going to build off of and keep going.
Trey, I mean, just for you personally, just how much fun was that last 6 minutes of that ball game, and particularly the last play in the regulation, the last one in overtime?
Yeah, it was definitely real fun. I had missed a couple layups right before that, and just our camp had confidence in me. My teammates had confidence in me and knowing I was going to make the next shot. So I didn't really get down myself because I knew my teammates believed in me and helped me make the shot to go into overtime and the shot at the end of the game. And obviously they ran both plays to me, and that just feels great knowing that my coaching staff and teammates had that much confidence in me.
Trey, what about it too? I mean, there was nothing regular season about that game. I mean, at any point, the fans, the crowd, you couldn't get a ticket anymore. I mean, there was juice out there. When you look at the intensity, both they played with what you played with, that was college basketball today, wasn't it?
100%. And having these great fans come out every single game, like every game we played at has been pretty much sold out. And that's a huge thing for our team to have that juice coming from the fans, because in order for us to be great on defense, if we want to be that zone, you got to have great energy, and it just helps having the roars from the crowds. If we get a deflection, a block, or something like that, and it showed today, helped us get the win.
Jalen, for you, the game against Toledo, I thought we saw more stretches of you and the way that you are. Do you feel that way too? We saw it here tonight as well, because obviously we know the offense is at its best when you're at your best. Do you feel that way, like you're putting it together as far as from a health perspective?
Yeah, I feel like every day I'm improving. Every day my ankle's getting better. So, you know, I just think going forward that I'm going to keep amping it up and just keep doing what I can to help my team win.
Any other questions from players? You guys are dismissed.
Hey, guys. Nothing for Trey Townsend? Come on, man. Come on, man.
What do you want?
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We'll begin, Coach, with your opening statement.
Well, I think the people that, you know, our ticket's probably the cheapest ticket in Division I basketball in the state of Michigan. In fact, I know it is. And they got their money's worth today, boy. What a game. What a game. You gotta give Eastern Michigan a ton of credit. We could have blown them out of here. And the last 3 minutes of the first half, they willed themselves back into the game, and then it became a game. And it was the game we all expected to see. We really needed a win. We really, really needed a win. We played a very difficult schedule, but we played at home, and we had to get that win, and our kids found a way to do it. We made a lot of big plays, a lot of big plays, a lot of guys. We had 6 people in double figures. We had another guy with 7 points. It's a 96-92 game. You don't think there's much defense played, but there was some really good stops. There was some big time stand up when we need one and get it. We've got the turnover at the end of regulation. We did what we had to do to win the game, and that's really a good thing, especially when players make plays. When players do what they have to do, they come out of a timeout, they execute out of a timeout. Players make plays, and we did it. So I'm ecstatic about the win.
All right, questions for Cam?
You talked about the defense making the plays. How big was the possession where Trey had the 2 blocks on that end and you shot it down there?
Well, the reason that was so big, they still got a shot, not a good one. But the reason that was so good is the energy that it brought to the building, which brought to his teammates. You block Farrakhan and turn around a second later and block Imani Bates. I mean, those are 2 pros. Both those kids are going to make a lot, not money. They're going to make a lot of money playing professional basketball. And Trey made 2 unbelievable defensive plays. And he played, late. 43, 44 minutes into the game. And to bring that energy to everybody, you knew we were going to get the stop, and you knew we were going to score. I felt, when he did that, I just want to make sure I got him the ball.
More about that, Cam. We asked Trey about that, that play in particular, play at end of regulation, play obviously at the end of overtime as well. Let's take us through is it that simple?
Did you ask about the play to start the overtime when he turned it over?
No, I didn't ask him about that.
We ran a play to him too, so.
Yeah.
Better than 2 minutes earlier.
Kind of what I told him in the locker room. And Trey's missed some baskets late in games during his career, and on both those, you could see from the body language that he wasn't missing. He lowered, he's now up to 230 some pounds, and he lowered that shoulder, and he was going to score the ball right at the rim. He wasn't going to hope it went in. And that's what, failure is the only way you can become great, in my opinion. I've done it for 45 years. If it's always goes in, if it's always good, I don't know, but failure and the things he's gone through, and to want the ball. Trey Townsend, think of 3 years ago when he got here. He wants the ball in that situation. And they weren't stopping him. If they tripled him, maybe. And then the other thing, you gotta look at Blake Lampman. And he stepped up. We ran a play. We were down 4, and we ran a play to him in the corner, and he buried the shot. Trey could have taken a dribble and shot it, but he stuck with the play down 4. If we were down 2 and he had done that, I might not have been that happy about it. But because we were down 4 and he hit Blake on the play, Keaton set a tremendous back screen. Farrakhan didn't even see it coming, and bam, he made the shot. And, for Blake to do that is a major step forward in his progress.
Speaking of Keaton Hervey, Camp, when you look over the box score, it might get lost in the shuffle a little bit. How important is he to this team?
Well, he's as important as Jalen. He's as important as Trey. What he does, he's that winner. He's not elite at anything else except helping you win. You look at the stat sheet, he normally doesn't miss free throws. I think he was 90% going into the game. And he fell away a couple of times on a shot, missed both of those, and he didn't panic, He's just a winner. What a great kid to coach. And I don't think he came out of the game in the second half. I know Jalen didn't. I don't think he did, and maybe Trey didn't either. And that's bad coaching. But God, we had to win this game. We had to win in-state. I mean, Tony Paul's got to rank us ahead of him now, right? I mean, that's,
You have to buy Detroit News and see.
you know, everybody, that's all they care about is those
It
rankings.
is
So,
true. It is
yeah, I think we got to be ranked ahead of them.
Rocket, can you tell us what's up there?
Cramp. I mean, of course he's going to cramp in a game like that. He hadn't practiced. He and Jalen didn't practice. Jalen didn't practice before the Toledo game, played, didn't practice. Now, I will tell you our secrets because I'm always a guy that believes everybody should know everything. I don't think you hide stuff. So one of the reasons, and I went through this with Kendrick Nunn when he had an injury. Once they find out what it is, they're okay. Now, Kendrick Nunn went through this, found out what it was not going to play against Michigan State at the Palace that morning. He had a sit-down talk with a foot specialist, and he went out and got 37 points, and he was not going to play because he found out what was wrong. We had an MRI because this a sprained ankle that Jalen's had should not have taken this long. So we had an MRI done on Thursday, and we found out what was wrong. And now he knows what's wrong, and now he can play. Now, he's playing in pain, but he knows he knows what it is, and it's not going to get worse. So what he has is they found a small tear, because we knew it had to be something more than a sprained ankle. We found a small tear in a muscle in the ankle. And the thing that he has to do is he has to get shut down for 2 weeks, and everything should be fine. But the specialist said you can play on it, but it's going to hurt. You got to play through pain, but rest is the best thing you could do. So I had a conversation with him. Obviously, he and Rocket both wanted to play today. Who wouldn't want to play in that thing, right? We're going to shut him down from tomorrow till Thursday, 5 days, nothing. They say 2 weeks, but we're going to go 5 days. He's going to play against Long Beach State if he's okay. And then we're going to go day to day through the 2 league games. And then we got Syracuse on Tuesday, the 6th of December or 7th or whatever. And then we don't play again till Boise State. So there's our 2 weeks off. And so we'll get to those 2 weeks eventually. At any time that he feels, we'll shut him down, but we're going to let him go. Kid's playing in a ton of pain. But like I said, he knows what it is now. There's not the fear of, oh my God, am I going to ruin what is this going to do to me? I think every one of us has had something hurt and wonder what it is and know the difference once we know what it is.
Why not just shut him down before the league?
Because he wants to play. And because he could have left here and gone anywhere in the country. He was loyal to us. I'm going to be loyal to him. And it's what do you want to do? And as much as you people think I'm a tyrant, what do you think? We played man-to-man the last 7 minutes of the game, and we came out zone to start the overtime. Why do you think we came out zone to start the overtime? Anybody got a guess?
Because they wanted to.
Because I went in the huddle and I said, what do you guys want to play? Because I ain't the one playing. And they all said they want to go back to zone. I was so happy to hear that because I believe that's our best defense. And I thought in the first half you saw us play it pretty damn good. The second half, I don't know why right now. I mean, look at the shots they made. Acuff, one was 1 for 12 from the three coming in, or 1 for 16 or something from the three coming into tonight. I mean, Amani can make those shots. Farrakhan, he's like I said, he's a pro. So they got going, and we weathered that storm. And they wanted to go back to the zone, so I was really happy. And then one other thing I'd like to say, from a long range look at us tonight. The best thing that happened besides the win and besides our students and the full house and that crowd, and no one can walk away from there saying that wasn't a great college basketball game. No one. I mean, Eastern fans can walk away saying they got screwed by the refs or whatever we say when we lose, but it was a great game. They got to feel good about their team. The biggest takeaway for me was Will Shepherd and Chris Conway. They took major steps tonight, not little steps, major steps. Conway had a 7-minute period where he was a man out there. And Will, I've told people since we got him, he's the best shooter I've ever coached over 6'6". And tonight he showed that, but we put him in a starting role so that he felt confident and and he's not going out there and thinking he's got to prove himself. And it might have been I haven't done very many smart things in my last 5 or 6 years, but that might be the smartest thing I've done in the last 5 or 6 years because it let him relax and play. If those two kids can continue to grow like that, this team's got a shot.
Camp about Amani Bates, and look, we play in every building in the country against some of the best players in the country all the time. Have you seen a shot maker like that? I mean, 28-foot threes, and he is just an elite shot maker.
That's a question. I'm not a guy that likes to say he's the greatest or he's the best or this is my best team or that. What you saw tonight was very impressive. But what you also saw tonight, and I'm turning this around on you, Neil, is did he make any of those in the last 3 minutes or overtime?
And that's a great segue to the second
Yeah,
question.
because Rocket Watts begged me to take him because when we went man, I was putting Keaton on him and Rocket wanted him. And that's another great thing that happened tonight. And Keaton guarded Farrakhan, I mean, he's something special. He's a special player. But we did a hell of a job on Monty at the stretch. The answer to your question is he's right up there with whoever. I mean, the net didn't even move on 3 of them, And we held him to 19 points, somebody said?
Nothing yet.
Yeah,
Nothing in the final 18.
the final 18 minutes he didn't score. Yeah. So
Which leads into the second question of that great segue, Cam, is did you guys employ some of the Antoine Davis principles? Certainly in the first half, it looked very, very similar. Yeah.
In the zone we did, but when we went man, no, it was just because you can't do that in those things with Antoine on those. I don't know if you can do it to their team this year, but in their teams in the past, they didn't have a Farrakhan to go with them. And from what I've seen at Detroit, they might have a couple, Stone and that can go get baskets. So you can't employ those rules that we've used against Antoine, against Amani when there's Farrakhan out there. And then those other guys make plays. I mean, Jeter made 2 huge free throws. I don't think he's a very good free throw shooter. Maybe he is, but
60.
yeah, and he stepped up and made 2 big free throws. I mean, the kid from Cass played great. I mean, we didn't beat. That was a great bat. 2 teams played really good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm excited about is that was 2 teams that played really good. And the Toledo game the other night, the second half was 2 teams that played really good. The first half was 1 team that played good, and we were out of it, right?
Right.
And so now we played 2 halves. Now we go down in the middle of nowhere where nobody's going to see us, and we got a chance to improve and get better.
Coach, last 2 seasons you played 1-3-1 zone defense. We have not really seen it this year. Do you have any plans of bringing it back sometime during the season?
We're actually playing a hybrid of that. The reason it doesn't look like, because Micah Parrish and Jamal Kane aren't out there. It's actually this. There's not much difference between what we're doing. We're just doing it with Blake Lampman. So we're in the process of tweaking it. We completely changed some slides in it this week after the Toledo game. And I thought it really made a difference. You didn't see any standing. Well, you saw one because we had a player, 2 guys go to the same wing on defensively and left a guy. That was the only uncontested wide open 3 that was taken. So we've changed our slides because of our size. We can't deflect passes. But yeah, we're going to play a lot of that zone. Yep.
And then just one follow-up question. With what you were saying today about some of your key players coming off the bench, could this arguably be your most deep team you've had in the past 3 or 4 years?
Absolutely. In the past, the last team that was this deep was the team that won the championship, Sean Dorsey. The year Kay went to the end of draft and didn't come back for senior year, and we had Nick Daniels and Jalen Hayes, and we won the league regular season. We won a game at Clemson in the NIT. That team was 7, 8 deep, 9 deep. But we haven't been there, you know, the portal and maybe some poor recruiting and maybe some bad coaching, you know, whatever. It hasn't been what it should be. But we've gotten through the hard times, I think, and I feel really confident about our roster and our bench and our depth. And we've got some guys redshirting that I think have a chance to be good players too. So I really like the direction we're going with our roster.
Any more questions for Coach in here? Okay, you got one that's kind of geared more towards you, Coach. What goes through emotionally, mentally of a coach in a tense overtime game in a filled building after 39 seasons?
Relief. We won the game. You know, I would have hated to have to look at those students after what they've given us and walk out of that building. So relief. And I know I can handle my locker room and I can handle the kids. It's that outside stuff, you know. So to see how happy that I mean, they're packed in there. You know, it was just unbelievable atmosphere. And to think, you know, I'll still go back to the first game I ever coached at 39 years ago. There were 35 people at it and 17 of them were named Campy, you know. So to see where we've come over the years, and it's not the first time we've done this. I mean, we had one season where we averaged 4,000 a game, 4,012 or something in a 4,000 seat building. So, you know, but to see it back like it is after COVID and all the transition of the roster and all that we've gone through, to see it back like that, just awesome.
Any more questions off of that?
Okay, thank you.
Oh,